I blame my clocks. My clocks aren't, I don't know. It's another day. It's another stream. We're here. What's up, Spectrum? What's up, Hunter? What's up, John Paul? I'm actually excited about today. I got my little boy coming back. He's been gone for like 4 days. So that might be happening in the background. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But got some Genesis Coupe lights, as you can see here. So we're gonna play with them. Take this remote, push buttons. Cool things are gonna happen. Should be a good time. So happy to see all you guys. I think we can get into it. Ooh, normally I mute that, right? Insanity. So Dylan hooked it up, and we've got this new little screen here, and I want to show you something on that screen. If you can see what's in front of me, just gotta do one little thing. Say, pop out chat, slide it over there, and boom, buddy. We got chat. Oh, so good. So good. I could see that, I could see that, I could see that. Oh, all the things. All the things. I'm quite into it. And who's a savage, by the way? I must know. Who is the savage? Hunter says he's good. John Paul, by the way, if everybody wants to take a look in chat. I actually put my man's his daughter's quote thing. Oh, it's good. I'm building out that squad page. I like it. It's good. It's so much. Corso Motion in the house. So are we saying Mike? Just give me that thumbs up. If we are to refer to my man Corso Motion as Mike, I just need that acknowledgement from him, which would be dope, just to kind of know how I'm going to be talking about my dude. Hunter K says, had to change my name since I'm not the only hunter anymore. I get that. If there was like FlyRyde 2, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, I'm FlyRyde. No, it's actually nice to be Chris. It is. For the first time in quite a long time, getting to be Chris is almost like this fancy thing. Like, oh, really? I get to actually go by my name? I don't have to be, I don't know. I don't have to be a brand name. I can be a person. And people will actually listen to me. That Chris guy. Woo! You know, I was looking at the map on the Facebook group earlier of Al's, like where he's actually from, and just tripping out. Like I was watching where John Paul's from. I was looking at a bunch of stuff, and I was just like, yo, we're all over the place. The squad is big. The squad is mighty. That headlight guy is going to be joining the squad today as well. I think I need to check it out. Let's look on Facebook real quick. Let's do that. Ah, that's a better thing to look at. All right, let's go. Still learning how to actually find my mouse with 3 monitors. It's ridiculous. So we do have some member requests. We did. Do you agree to the group rules from the admin? Answer, I agree. Boom, you're in. You could be like, I hate your guts, but I agree. And I'd be like, sweet. So, my mans, I was just talking about some of these dudes that are here in squad, where they're from. I saw Al posted up a video, which I was very happy with. Let's see if I can find it. There's the dancing baby, showing, you know, just how excited I am inside. I'm actually the dancing baby, just so you know. I just want to wiggle like a chubby little baby when I think about facebook.com/group/sequential squad. Yes. There's Brooke putting dudes to shame. And I don't see my man Al's video. Where it's at? Where your videos at? Anyway, it was just him working on some headlights, doing some stuff. So anyway, we're gonna do some sequential work on these Genesis Coupe tail lights, which for the most part is gonna kind of wrap up the different platforms that we're gonna be doing all this stuff on. So should be cool. Corso Motion says 93 members already. That is something to be proud of. I'm happy about that, big time. And for the people that are like, what the heck are they talking about? Guys, Sequential Squad, it's the best. I'm so excited about it. You know, it's only been, we're at 3 weeks now. Well, not even 3 weeks, it's day 20. It's good. I'm gonna slurp loudly, real loud. You couldn't even hear that. Ready? Here we go. That's great. I even have food because my stomach was just tripping out. They are loud effing birds. Effing loud birds? Where? You can hear birds? I can hear R2D2. Somebody subscribed to my channel. Woohoo! Very good stuff. All right. Dude, it was like 52 members just 3 days ago. We're going to take over the world. Peacocks? You can hear peacocks? I don't know how loud that music is in the background, but I finally have something that's just going to roll. I'm excited about it. Yeah, peacocks are loud. I'm trying to think of how they sound, because we have some up in the hills just above us. But in any case, I think you get the point. I think you understand what's happening. We don't need to roll all the things, but I'm so excited about all the different stuff going on. Dare Not Been in the house. What up? What up? So he's got loud effing birds outside his house. Well, Adam, at least it's a peacock instead of a... I don't know what that thing was. It was like a mockingbird or something. I swear it was mocking me. When I did that live stream the other night, it was dark and you could just hear that bird just the whole time, just freaking out and just going over all the different bird noises. It's like he had a playbook and he just hit every single one of them. Too much. Okay, let's check out these lights. So these are factory lights. I'm going to show you the circuit board that I have over here in a second. And what I've done is individually go through and taken control of those lights. Now right now I've just actually changed up the file to show non-switchback. Okay, so that's why the parking lights stay on. Nice little intro, nice little turn signal action. And then since they're already on, obviously there's no animation happening there. And then we've got our show mode 2. This is a cool one. It bounces back and forth with the other light. And then this is just your standard stacking file. So this is going to be added to Sequential Squad to the library today. I'm going to make this file available to you, and I would love to see what you guys can do with it. So that's coming up. And just look at this crazy setup though. Like look at chat down there in the corner, and I can actually see me real time. Look, there's only a little delay. Fist pump. Oh, how come the fist pumping was on point but the pointing wasn't? Anyway, that's cool. Motto to live by, don't grow up, it's a trap. Just want you all to know that. And what I share on my screen is there. We can see it together. And with that, let's open up some programming stuff. What do you say? What do you say, boys? I want to show you what I've got going on here. I want to make a quick change really quick before we jump into making a bunch of changes, but that's specifically just this. Let's take one more look at what this looks like. Let me turn off show mode. So again, we got parking light on, turn signal on, running through it while the dim stays put, turning parking light off. Okay, now let's go back into the program here. Corso Motion, welcome to the Lightsman community. Huh. You know, it's cool because I do still feel like my overall my overarching goal is to have this whole community be the Lightsman, because that's the Lightsman Academy. That's where all of the courses are available, all of that. And it's an awesome like umbrella is how I look at it, right? The Academy the members, it's like the X-Men. We're all different. We all have different strengths and focuses and all that. Ninja, what up from Australia? Got a bunch of guys from Australia lately, I think. Sean Paymer, good morning, my man. And so this idea of Lightsman, and then inside of Lightsman, we've got Sequential Squad, which is super dope. The fact that we can have different branches of the same thing. And overall, what I do want to see happen is I want there to be like regional groups. Like we've got multiple guys in Australia. I mean, if one of those guys is like totally specified on, I'm from Brazil too. What up, Paulo? You know, like if we've got these different little satellite groups of people that are building lights and they understand sequential and they can help each other out. And I'm going to say, man, when you don't have a part and you need it and you're in Brazil and your boy, like, I don't know, 10 miles, 15 miles away, maybe he has that. Maybe he stocks that switchback driver and you don't want to wait a week to get one. It's so good to have that connection, to have people that you know in your area and it not be like, ooh, that guy, he's taking away my customers. Like, check it out. If both of you guys don't suck, you're not going to take away each other's customers. You're going to have more customers than you can deal with. That's the whole point, right? Or if you just want to have a homie that speaks your language and have a beer and eat a sandwich and talk about crazy stuff and building lights and car culture and whatever you might be into, then dope. You should be able to connect in that way. So I think having Sequential Squad is dope for the guys that care about sequential, but we're going to form other groups as well. You know, so I just want to connect the builders. That's the point. And I want the umbrella that we all are kind of sheltered under and get, you know, sponsorship towards and all of that from different various companies. Like I have a hookup for all of your OEM, or not OEM, all of your aftermarket light supply needs. So there's a company that I work with called Auto Lamp USA, and I'm able to bring in my community members and my academy members and all of that and get them their own accounts so that they don't have to go through me to order wholesale lights, so that they can use them for their builds to make extra cash. I think that's dope. I wouldn't have that if I didn't have a community, and so the community is pretty super dope. Let's talk about sequential now. Let's do it. So if we check, you know what? Actually, there's another thing that I may want to put another button on here. Oh, I was just thinking about it. Maybe I should have a very zoomed in thing for this. So I'll mess with that next stream. Okay, but for now, we've got the drop down under style, and we're going to drop that down to animated switchback. And then we're just going to recompile this whole dealie. And then at the end, we're going to load it up and look at the difference, because you remember what it looked like a second ago when I showed you that file. Okay, close. Let's hop over here. We're at 90% memory usage, so we've got a lot of stuff going on. And here's that file. I am going to connect this up for some reason. Wow, something very loud just happened. I believe my in-laws are here with my wee lad. I know they don't know what to do about things about live streaming and what that means, and they're probably going to tell me to come inside, which I won't, but I love them, and I get that they shouldn't really know about this life. Okay, here we go. Programming complete. Let's check out what that new running light and turn signal looks like. Running light, and then turn signal this time should shut off the running light, do its thing, and then it should animate that parking light back on after. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I like it. So there's that versus it continuously staying on, and instead of dropping things on the ground like a schmuck. 100K says, have you heard anything from Quad Hands? I got an email from the from one of the people, from I think his assistant, who I did speak with. I called, I think he has like 4 or 5 companies. I called one of them, asked if he was there, and they said he's rarely in his office. So he's my kind of dude. It seems like he's a guy that has lots of things going on and you can't catch him. Just how it should be. Because like imagine that like somebody's got such little going on that you can always just reach out and dial and find them, and there they are just sitting in their office just waiting for some interaction, waiting for something to do. That is definitely not me. People get mad about that. I get that life. I understand it. I don't want to be sitting in an office with the door closed looking at the same ficus every day of my life. That sounds like for the way I'm wired, that sounds like hanging me with frickin' floss or something, just like slowly, just like a inefficient, painful death. Right? So, another thing to show you. We're going to talk about remotes today too, remote controls. So this is the old remote control that I was using, and it was because it had a basic little box like this, right? ASMR. So this little box, it came with 2 remotes. It was less expensive than the other. I didn't necessarily like these little ABCD thing. Whatever, they're not bad. In any case, the fact that they do cool stuff. Push a button, 4 different things you can turn on. That's show mode 1. We got brake lights. Actually, no, that's I think running light. That's brake light. So we could turn all this stuff on here on remote, which is dope, and just turn on that. And I would do that, but I want you looking at me, not at that. So, nice thing. In any case, keep those back on where they were. And Spectrum Retrofits upgraded membership to Lightsman Community. What a gangster. What a straight gangster. Okay, so here's the thing. The new remote control is this guy. It does the same exact thing as the other, and it also has 2 remotes, and this is actually the box that it comes with. So I'm pretty pumped about that because it's replacing the one that I've got hooked up right here that only has 1 remote. It costs twice as much. So it's like we get everything. We get the 2 remotes that we wanted. We get the small, easy little box that's easy to run all of our wires into and out, and that's because of Mike, who is now a Lightsman community member. Which now means I need to really put some emphasis into that whole Lightsman community membership part of it. So you guys are dope. You guys are like my main guys, and we got Angel in there. So Angel's a community guy too. Al says, Tim, you didn't miss much. Nah, we were just hanging out. We're just chatting about some stuff. We're making some changes to these files here. Ooh, and if everybody hasn't seen yet, on the link, we've got Tim and his Saturn being animated, and his dope little, I asked him for a one-liner. He gave me something way cooler than that. And so that's in chat. Take a look. Let me know what you think. And now we're going to play with some cool changes. So that's what we had, which was the animated switchback style. Let's go back to my screen. And I'm going to change this up. Actually, we'll show the lights. I'm going to change this up to be simple switchback now. So now it's just going to pop to the running light instead of currently how it is. It animates back on. So let's compile that. Overwrite everything. And let me load that up now. Dope. Let's see if that worked. 90% usage. Programming. Oops. I think this is what happens when it's hooked up. So it said failed to program device. I don't think it's because I had things hooked up, but it wasn't making very good contact. So let's try this again. I think I'm going to make an adjustment too. I think I'm taking up unnecessary space on the screen with this, this taillight. Let's just drop him down there. Yeah. Okay. So we're good now. And let's check out what we've got. Now now it's just going to pop back after the turn signal. And then if we do one more change, which I wish I could just keep this thing connected right now. It's kind of cumbersome shutting it off. I'm going to go all the way back to what it started off as. And now it should, the parking light should actually stay on while it is. Oh shit. I think this is what happens when you disconnect a programmer mid-programming. One of these times you guys are going to watch me just thoroughly destroy something. Oh, who's Jamie? Somebody's calling me named Jamie. I don't know who that is. Program away. Okay, that's complete. And now you can see the animation going through it. So 3 different styles completely. And looks like that should be good to go. So I don't know which one I like more. That shouldn't have started over like that. That was kind of weird. What do you think? Yeah. Which one do you guys like best? Now's when we need your involvement. I need you. I need you here. If I don't get feedback, what am I doing? Who am I doing this for? Am I just talking at you? No way. Okay. Mike says, "Hey Chris, did you see the video I sent last night?" I did. I need to show that. I want my customer David Adams to see that. He's in the group. I don't know if he's seeing anything. But do you want me to show everybody on screen right now? Because that'd be pretty easy to do. I could pull it up right quick. Just show the overall file. I think it's sick. Where's it at? Mike West, Mike West. Boof. Let's see it. Yo, check this out. What do you guys think of Mike West's file? I think it looks good. It's pretty cool that I could share stuff like this just because of Facebook. Yeah, this is it, right? Bye. That's pretty cool. What does everybody in chat think? I'm super excited that I get to make this a file that people have access to and that I get to use, because this build right here is like the foundation of Sequential 101, showing you how to take control of all the individual LEDs, do all that stuff. I'm excited about that. So, righto. Good job, Mike. I like it. Definitely good. Corso Motion says pretty cool. Tim says he likes it. Darren Ottman says nice. You know what? There's a guy that does like a walkthrough that can show how to highlight the like the comments so that it displays it on screen and all that. I don't know. I don't have the right program to do it quite yet, so there's a workaround. May or may not matter. In any case, doesn't look like. Okay, so we don't have any more pending members. I do know that as we invite different people, I have been turning down the different membership requests when they just haven't filled anything out, which to me, I don't think it's like a thing about them doing something or being bad. I just think that it comes down to they don't really know what the thing is. They don't know what's going on. They're like, somebody told me I should join this thing. I don't know what it is. So yeah. So I want to go through a little bit of the code that I have on here right now, and I want to have you guys take a crack at it. So this is a 21 channel sequence, And I think we can make some cool stuff. I do want to spend some time actually going through the steps on this one. Let me share my screen really quick. So this is, turn it on the right mode. All right, so here's our turn signal sequence. He caught him. Oh, and you know what? I put a little duty in here. I forgot about this. Check this out. Brake light. Check it out. I only have 4 things, so couldn't do it. I got parking light, I got turn signal, I've got show mode 1 and 2, and then this. Fire the missiles. Cool, right? I don't know why we need to look at me. I really don't think we do. Let's look back at that code. So that is our brake light. That is our turn signal. And if we look at the code, I don't know. Like, I don't know that it matters to sit and try to make the swish. I mean, it'd be kind of cool for the GLC to be updated, but not super important. Here is the brake light. And again, that looks like this. Parking light. Just a simple little pyramid. And just for reference sake, this is at 33 milliseconds, so it's nice and laid back. Doesn't look crazy. There's no fanning though. I really think that it'd probably be cooler to have an opening sequence that has the fanning where it goes out to the sides and then back in. I really like that more than just this. It's very efficient, but I'm like, we could do so much cooler stuff. Why would we not do it? So that's what we got there. Then we've got show mode 1, which is this. So this is just a stacking. You can always tell the stacking code when you see those little slash marks and then the left column just getting bigger and bigger. I don't know. It's a whole lot of lines of code though. I definitely don't think that that's like the best use of doing all of this stuff. Tim says, my 14-year-old joined the Facebook group and signed up for squad. What a gangster. She should. Because Gracie's got skills. Tell Gracie, if she's not watching this right now, that not only did she do such a great job that I was impressed, but the guy that has been waiting for those taillights for months and months, he's up in Canada, he was stoked, and he called her out by name and said that the work she did was amazing. So, I just think that's special. Let me look at my Instagram really quick. Filter through the death threats. I should find right here. Let's see. Yeah, he's like, how many show mode options and ideas your members made for the taillights? Even from the 14-year-old Gracie. Great job, in caps. Dude, that's so dope. I love that. That was pretty cool, I must say. She's probably sleeping. She's been staying up all night lately. Isn't that weird with your kids right now? You're like, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to be like, no, you can't stay awake all night. You need to go to bed because you need to wake up early, and then like do the same thing you're doing now. Like sit on the couch. Whoa, what's this? I just found this weird little chunk of line in the code. Look at that. What's that all about? Look, nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. What was that for? I think this is just part of an original stacking. This is what I'm gonna say. Let's can that big chunk of stuff because it's just not anything special. It's just stacking back and forth. Look how much lines of code that is. Got a total of 1,011 lines of code. So I want to say bye, Felicia. So what can we do for a dope show mode? Let me do another serious mode. So these taillights have like the most baggage attached to them ever. I need to sell them. They're $1,650 taillights. The new taillights from Hyundai cost about $650 to $700. and these ones are super insane. I used them to film all sorts of stuff on there. I haven't put nearly the effort that I've needed to, so I guess I should post them up on all the different marketplaces as well as like the main ones. Like I know I'll post them up on eBay and stuff like that, but I would love to see somebody that wants to get into squad and learning all this stuff and doing it all for it to be a person inside our own community that ends up with these, because as it is right now, the dude that originally kind of commissioned me to do this and do all the special stuff, if you look on there with like even like there's like a little gray strip on the bottom, like it was so unique to what he wanted. You know, at one point he was just like, I want out, I don't want it, I just want my money for what I paid for those things. And he's been waiting forever, and I made an agreement with him that I would sell them, and when I do, he would get the money for it. And we're still there. I haven't put nearly enough effort in. I've been doing things like building courses and creating community and all that stuff. And so I kind of am just at a point now where I'm like, enough's enough. Like, I'm taking way too long on this. So I need your guys' help. If you have any clue of some Genesis Coupe guys that you think might actually be a cool addition to the group, people that would want to sit in there and just geek out. We got a 21 channel straight line animation. Like, you can do anything with this. It would be so cool to see somebody continuously updating these things and sharing with the group. It's just not a bunch of Genesis Coupe guys that are spending tons of money on their cars, you know? Sinister says, are those the same lights I posted a while ago for you? I believe they are. Yeah, I mean, this is the only set of fully sequential Genesis Coupe taillights that I'll ever make. Like, I'm not going to do another set of these. If you look, I've actually got this stuff sitting in my lap. So here's the board. So the problem with this, and why this doesn't even belong in Sequential 101 or Sequential 201, but it belongs in the 301 class, is because all of these little LEDs are held on by ribbon cables. The ribbon cable's super thin. You have to both cut and trim a bunch of chunks out of it so that you can isolate all the grounds in these, but then you also have to like score the board and then solder stuff to it and then bridge little power connections. You have to do all of this stuff and run a million little wires through the ribbon cable without being able to see any evidence of that, and it's just super difficult. And then on top of that, you got to run these big fat 2-watt resistors. So I mean, it's not a job that I would want anybody to do. Yeah, Jay says he saw it in 301. I mean, it's a really long, like, I wouldn't want to show people that type of video on YouTube specifically, because it would just fall on deaf ears. It's like, here's how to work insanely hard to get something that you probably just don't care enough about to put in all those hours. Most Genesis Coupe guys would never even open their taillights up. It's one of the hardest taillights ever to cut open, do all this stuff, to paint, to put it back all perfect. There's a guy in Canada also, Dave Rockford, amazing at this stuff. I wish he was on the lives. I'm gonna invite him. I'm gonna freaking invite him right now. He's just a dope guy to have around. I want him in squad. So there's lots of people like that I just know are super, just same thing with that headlight guy. He should be in here. There's a lot of cool stuff. So I know Tim would enjoy, I'm sure, being able to see some other people putting in these crazy animations, just like John Paul and Hunter and Al, like all you guys that are actually making these files and uploading them and sending them. That's awesome. The big thing is now we're going to start talking about other stuff that's way more universal. So I think it's gonna perk up the interest of much more people. Corso Motion has a bunch of parts coming in. If you're watching still, how long until we have those pre-assembled parts in hand, ready to ship off to people? Because I really do think that's going to be, I just want to push. I want to push hard. I want to make sure that he gets the sales that he needs to fund the next production run of everything else, and you guys get these things in your hands, because the pods and all that stuff are crazy. Yeah, so Sinister just said when he saw the amount of work that goes into modifying factory LEDs, he's like, screw that, I'll just use pods, like the individual little guys, right? I got some right here. So this is one of the Corso Motion pods, and then we've got the unique LED ones too. And my guess is that over time, you're going to end up, I would say that, so 2 to 3 weeks, Corso Motion has these things in hands. Pre-made ones ready to ship, good to go. Raul, what up? Oh my god, hi! That's what he said. Sorry, I had to say it. Yeah, Tim says it's cool. See people with experience and learn from them. A lot of us all have the same experience level. Yeah, man. There's so much cool stuff in there. Corso Motion says he's using a... This is just like an ad. So it would normally look something like this. But in the future, it'll be a Corso Motion ad right there. And we're going to be driving sales for those products to the companies that we're working with. So hopefully there's a Quad Hands one. Hopefully we got some Milwaukee tools going through here. Anything that we can get you guys specials on. Auto Lamp USA would be great to have a little bit of information about them so more guys can sign up to get their wholesale accounts all dialed. It'll be dope. But Corso Motion says using premium SMT machine for best quality for sure. Yeah, and you know, so much of this stuff too, like you can buy your own equipment and run it. And if you're not skimping and you buy the best machines, like your machines can make this stuff for you, do amazing things. Or you can have factories specialize in doing this and have way crazier, even higher industrial level machines. Like that's super dope too. There's usually just more of a waiting game in that. And so starting new things and getting new products out there is obviously harder when you're going that approach, because you're submitting designs, then they're having their engineers put that into a product. There's all these steps. So people ask me all the time, hey, how can I just get this little shape? And I'm like, I don't know. You could spend thousands and thousands of dollars and, you know, pay lots of people to do different parts of that whole thing just to get your one little thing. Or you could just get some LED pods and just make the shape yourself. Or you can take control of your factory lights so that now they're animated and you didn't have to do all the crazy stuff. So it just kind of comes down to what your end goal is. For a lot of people, what they think is that they should have a production piece that's like a drop-in circuit board, which is basically, I just found these in storage yesterday and I'm excited. I'm gonna get them. Hold on. Okay, story time. So 2017, I've got my first shop. I think that it's gonna just be this huge thing that happens because like of big Instagram accounts of my friends and stuff like that. Anyway, long story short is my dude comes up with this part. This is a sequential C-bar, the first one. He actually changed the LED type that he was using to be brighter and stronger than these ones, but it was the first ever sequential C-light for the Subaru WRX. And so we were wiring all these individual guys on there and doing a lot of extra steps. It wasn't super clean. It wasn't how it should be, not how we do it now. And so getting this part made took a lot of time, a lot of engineering, a lot of after hours work for my friend. And then he bought a super expensive machine, and then he was making these things and shipping them off to everybody. Now, the person that I was sharing a shop with at the time was like, in a year, that guy's going to be a millionaire. That's the mindset people have. This dude that said that has no idea anything about automotive lighting, anything about electronics, 12-volt circuit boards, like anything about this. He knows how to sell very inexpensive things that are extremely easy that anybody could do, and he does a great job at that. And he sells tons of easy, kind of like dumb stuff, right? I don't say dumb like, oh, you must be dumb if you buy it. But like anybody could do that, right? Like anybody could copy that whole thing. And so the whole business survives on brand and awareness and hype and all that, which is dope. He's really good at that. This is not that. This is super difficult stuff. So this is one of the very first drop-in parts that I was out there pushing, talking about, and the customer doesn't understand it. Like, it's like the retailers that would try to then turn around and sell this, they don't understand how to do it. You have to have a real hands-on experience to do it. So if somebody thinks that for their random, 2003 whatever, like Chevy this or that they need to make this kind of level of a part so that they can accomplish something once, it's like, bro, like that's just like the craziest overcomplicated way of doing it. You could totally make something like this if it's for the new hottest car that's about to come out that you know there's just going to be thousands and thousands of people that want, and you could make that part simplified so that you don't have to know anything much about it and dumb it down. That's the only reason that you should make like huge production run drop-in parts. But you guys are going to be able to work with companies like Corso Motion when it does make sense to make a drop-in part that isn't overly complicated. And I mean, that might even mean getting certain things made like a sequencer that is already wired to it on a separate little panel, and just basic adjustments, and sell that in your niche market. Like if you're like Tim and you've got this dope setup for your Saturn, what if there was just drop-in parts good to go for Tim's Saturn, and he was able to be the guy that was the face of that niche, and he could just sell, I don't know, 45 drop-in Saturn boards that already had the sequencer hooked up and all that. That's kind of down the road. Like that's where this stuff leads to if you're the guy that's doing the cool one-off custom stuff. And so I invite you guys, talk with Corso Motion, talk with the companies that you can buy factory taillights from, or the aftermarket taillights, and put drop-in parts. And like, I don't know, like Tim just says, Saturn owners are they're cheap. That's what he's saying. And at the end of the day, you don't want to make a big production run of something and then tell them like, hey, buy this. But what you can do is you could show them some super complicated stuff that you did, show them all the steps, knowing that they're never going to recreate that anyway. And if the person did recreate it, they're probably smart enough that they didn't really need your help in the first place, but maybe you just nudged them in the right direction on a couple steps, and they'll thank you for it. And then that smart guy will be your homie, right? And then you guys can have this cool little common bond thing going on. Meanwhile, if you're helping all these people, and then you have a little LED bulb kit that costs you $5 to get in bulk, and it makes you $30 a pop, and you're just slanging a bunch of little LED kits for your car because all these dudes are stoked that you showed them some stuff. They think that you're smart because you did this thing, and you put out the YouTube video that shows it. Now you've got a little passive thing happening there, and you don't have to worry about making a part like this. So this is going to be a snippet, this little section of this live that I use as a canned response to, hey, can you make an LED panel for my car? Because the answer is no. I can't. It wouldn't be a good idea for me, for anybody, not for you. Don't worry about drop-in parts. A Subaru WRX is a perfect platform to have drop-in parts for, taillight parts, headlight parts, all that. And it's a difficult market to work with. Even though those guys spend money, they have the cool car, they have the STI that's worth a bunch of money, they're willing to spend thousands of dollars on custom. It's still so difficult. So drop-in parts are not for everybody. My whole thing with the GTR has been the biggest insanity uphill battle for years and years, and I'm still underwater because of it. So I would never tell somebody else like, oh yeah, like all you have to do is find some rich guys and then just make some drop-in parts and it's easy. Like, it can go crazy. It can spiral out of control real quick. Tim says, when the car books for $2,500, they don't want to spend $1,000 on custom taillights. You know how many people I've told I couldn't make you custom lights because they'd be worth more than your car? They'd cost more than your car. Forget worth, but they'd cost. Like, they definitely wouldn't be worth that. You know what I mean? It's kind of like if you painted a 98 Honda Civic with like 24 karat gold paint. It's like the cost of doing that would be worth more than that. Civic is now not worth tons of money because it's got gold paint. It's got a ton of money wasted on it. That's how I think about spending lots of money on this stuff. Okay, Sinister says Subaru owners are ringland and head gasket broke. Yeah, they've got other things that they're spending on. Just like the GTR guy that spends $50K on his motor, but then is like, what? You want to charge $5,000 for headlights? I'm like, bro, $3,000 of that is going to Nissan, not me. And then I have to spend crazy amounts of hours, which when you do the math, equals out to like I'm making minimum wage to work on your car. Like, that doesn't sound good. Oh, and if I screw up, it's going to cost me $5,000, public shame, lynch mob, like my address posted everywhere, people showing up to get me. Like that's, I don't know. That doesn't sound like a good trade-off. I'd rather flip burgers. And you're like, In-N-Out's a pretty decent gig if you want to flip burgers and make more money than I do building GTR lights. Sean Paymer says, people drive cars with wheels, stereos that cost more than their whole car is worth every day. It's true. They do. It's not to say that they won't do it, but it might not be a good idea. Let's do a little bit more. In-N-Out rocks. Yeah, if you're not from SoCal or you've ever been here, you've ever visited LA, go to In-N-Out because it's just super good food. And my tiny little town of Beaumont will have its own In-N-Out in a matter of weeks. It's almost done. Kind of excited about that. And we're gonna get a movie theater. Ugh. Your boy's gonna get to like get drunk and Uber down the street and watch a movie and then come home and take his girl out on dates, and there's actually gonna be something that doesn't cost us $1,000 to do. I'm excited about that. Sean says, never tell yourself no, let them say no. Great. Limiting thoughts about if somebody is gonna like buy the thing or like apologizing for your pricing. Oh, don't ever do that. Let them say no, because you'll be amazed. And here's a great thing. If you do something amazing, but you hated doing it, and you're like, I can't even imagine, I would have to charge 5 times as much to do that. Next time you're asked about it, charge the guy 5 times as much. See if he bites. If he does, see what it feels like when you just do that the same thing that you hated, but for 5 times as much. You might find out 5 times as much isn't enough. Might be like, whoa. I just never want to do that again because it's terrible. It's too hard. It's not satisfying in the least. I find things don't continue to scale up. There's diminishing return in doing too crazy of work. So there's always a sweet spot, and that's what you want to talk about. That's what you want to tell people. Sean Paymer says, never apologize for your price of work. Only apologize if you're in the wrong. I'm in the wrong all the time, so your boy's constantly apologizing. But I'm also working on things that I find much more overall valuable to everybody, as opposed to just head down in a corner. No one's getting anything out of it besides one dude at the end, if he gets past the point that or gets over the point that he's like, oh, that took you longer than I wanted it to. It's a very weird place. I'm in such a strange transition right now, and you guys are helping me transition out of that to the point where every project gets to be fun. It gets to help lots of people create new, knowledge and courses and all of that stuff, and I get to learn from you guys too. So I hope that I can learn from you on these, which are in desperate need of your touch. Let's see what we could just drop into this. I can just import and append something cool. Now I do have some crazy GTR stuff that should potentially drop right in. So we can take a look at that. Ghost files, GLP, GTR headlights. Old. Why do I want old files? I don't want old files. Let's see. GLS. Wow, I don't have any GTR GLS files in there. Okay. Let's try this again. Let's try. It'll be interesting to do some 20 channel stuff in here, because we've got like Fast Builder, we got Searchlight. I think Searchlight, is like Knight Rider. Let's check out what that looks like. I'm just gonna compile it. This is gonna be Fast Driver. Yeah, because I definitely do not dig that file that we've got in there now. Stack. Stacking gets a little bit, gets a little lame over time. 32%. So we went from 90% to 32% by one GLS file. Keep that in mind when you're making your setups. They don't have to be huge. All right. Let's connect. Turn off show. man, I so don't like having these little pins now. I used to make all of my sequencers with pins, and it's just not fun. Okay, let's look at our new show mode. That's a 20 channel, so you'll notice at the very, very top, it's not doing anything. But I mean, barely notice. Not that I'm saying we wouldn't leave it that way, but you know, for the purpose of just checking out different files right now, and knowing that we can just take these and modify them, the file GLS that I just put in here, we could totally change it up. Should be cool. Anyway, you guys, that was just the canned stuff that's inside of the Sequence Designer. So I am loading this section up today. I will give you a little spoiler alert. We are gonna raid another company this week, and we are also going to do another pretty dope giveaway. And so I want whoever comes up with cool stuff on this particular build, because we've already got a lot of stuff going on there, but I definitely want to give a separate little giveaway for whoever comes up with the coolest crazy animation for this, and we'll all vote on it. We'll just try out this new format where we're actually coming together as a community, and then I take that file, I make a YouTube video about these specific lights, I put the video out, and it's not a live, it's just going to be like a little 10-minute video of me talking about the different stuff that's involved with that particular light and who worked on it and all of that. So I want to start taking what we've been working on over the past few weeks and compiling that into a weekly video, one for each type of light, and that just kind of on its own little series, so people can tune in, they can find out who came up with different designs on different stuff. We'll be able to vote in the polls on the community tab, and somebody will win awesome stuff, and the only way that they'll be able to win is if they're in squad. So that's what's happening. Very cool. Tim says, I'm going to make lights for the Saturn. There will be a few that will buy them. I'm not going to produce a bunch of them ahead of time. Build to order is best. I agree, man. Me and Jay have had that conversation recently, that building stuff to have it on the wall, sitting there looking cool, man. Especially when people want to shell out money, like they don't want the thing that's already sitting there. That's part of the... That's kind of part of like the experience that you get when you buy these crazy custom things, is get excited about something that is going to come into existence that doesn't yet. And it's only going to do that because of your role. So it's kind of like, you know, somebody's going to, somebody has the ability to like build all these crazy things, and you're the one that's going to pump life into it. And the life is the money, it's funding it. So I think that comes into play with things like products and like group buying products and all that, group funding. So I've also thought about the fact, in Corso Motion, this is really for you, I've always had this kind of dream of having the community fund its own projects and then equally benefit from that. Meaning this, you have a group of guys, let's say 15 guys. 15 guys say, I really want this one thing to happen, to exist. So having like a group funded and group, I don't know, y'all make money from it when it sells. Like to have something like that where it was like this big partnership of the people for each project. So if you do have 15 WRX owners and they actually want to pony up and put something into production, that they could do that. A company like Corso Motion could make it happen. They could facilitate the actually getting everything made and doing it in bulk, so that it's not just like one dude sitting there with his little pick and place machine like going nuts all the time, and if that guy's on vacation then everybody's screwed. But more like businesses, you know, like legit. Like I'm not the big business that has everything figured out. I just want to connect everybody out. But imagine that you've got those 15 dudes, they work with the company that has their own on-hand engineers and all of that. They engineer the one-off, somebody tests it, somebody like me or somebody like, you know, a guy that's out there able to kind of produce content and get more awareness about it. And then if all things look good, then they send it to production. They get X amount made, you know, minimum order quantity 50, right? But because you got 15 guys that ponied up the X amount of hundreds each, then you've got, and this is all working, not including me, by the way. This is just an idea to make things come into reality. Then you've got a production run of 50 parts come in, and every time one of those things sell, all 15 dudes make money. And then after the point that they've got all their money recouped from it, now they're profiting. They got 15 guys that are promoting something, because every time one of them sells, then they all start making money. You know? And you could have a contract in place that basically says, hey, if 14 of you guys are just slackers, you're gonna pony up money once, and then one guy's gonna be driving this whole thing and pushing it all forward. Then after a certain amount of time, then you guys can either like figure out what the proper percentage of sales should be, or you got your money back, you're not really interested in the business side of this thing, and this dude wants to go ham with this and take it up a notch, like go for it. Then like he should be the one that after that X amount of time, everybody's money's recouped and all that. This guy wants to go full steam ahead, let him. He should get the big cut, and from that point it's his, or it's three people's, or whatever. I think this is all cool stuff. It's just me dreaming out loud. And it's the end of the hour. So we got to end on a crisp dream. And like I said, that all should exist without a little guy in the corner being like, hey, like all you little guys are making me money, or like, I don't like that guy. I don't. I think things should be facilitated, and ideas should be put out there to see what someone else is going to do with that idea. Not the guy that's like, oh, Uber was my idea. Like, cool, well, your ideas don't matter. But the people that take action on those ideas should win. And the guy who came up with the idea doesn't live in the 1980s where you patent crap and then you just sit back while other people do all the work and you collect a paycheck on your little idea. Anyway, that's where I'm going to drop this today. I've got GLS files. There will be cool stuff that happens. I want to make it worth your while to get in there. So whether you're a 14-year-old, 6-year-old, 36-year-old, doesn't matter to me. I just want somebody to win. Do cool stuff. Make GLS files. I've got about 100 of them at this point, GLS files to put in that library. So you boys, thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out today, watching these. If you've got anybody that is in the Genesis Coupe community that you think would be a good community member, have them contact me. I would love that. I would appreciate it big time. So if you haven't already, connect inside the Facebook group. Course of Motion's in there. Talk with him. Figure out how you can do the things that you're trying to do. Even if that's just making it one by one with little LED pods or whatever. You certainly don't have to go full ham and listen to that whole group collaboration effort business thing. That might be a little bit much. But I hope you guys all have a great day. I'm out of here. I'm gonna go see the wee baby because he's been at grandma's house for a bunch of days. And I hope that once this is all said and done here over the next couple days, we get a nice new owner for these Genesis Coupe lights. Get to see them on a car. Get to show your animations off, and yeah, it should be good stuff. So Course of Motion says thank you for streaming. Everybody else, I'll catch you in the Facebook group. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And should actually be able to end the stream right here. Nah, I can't. I'll figure it out later. All right, guys.